A couple years ago, when I was 17, I transferred to this new school. It was a part time school, so the system was a bit weird. You had to go to school and work part time. So I said, sure, let's make some money. So when the first day arrived, I met all these people, the introduction happened, all the stuff happened. So I said, alright, what is this? All these people were a bit strange to me. And there was one guy that stood out. And I saw the ambition. I saw that that guy just wasn't happy. He wasn't satisfied with his current position like me. I did not like that school. From first glance, I did not like it. But of course, I was 17. I didn't really have much options. So I just went with the flow. And I talked to that guy. I said, what are you doing? What is your name, etc. So we had a little conversation, right? And apparently that guy, he lived in an orphanage. So it's pretty hard. I said, well, what do you want to achieve? Is this school your mission? Is this your goal? Are you passionate about this? He said, of course not. What the hell is this? So I said, well, let's start business, right? Let's make some money. Let's achieve something great. And eventually we started some businesses, right? Well, you can't really call them businesses because we didn't make any money, right? But we worked on these projects like e-commerce. We worked on it for a couple of weeks, which ended in a couple of weeks. Why? Because we didn't see results. One day skipped, second day skipped. Motivation was gone. We relied on the motivation, which shouldn't happen. If you want to keep moving, you should never rely on motivation, because that's exactly what stopped us. Motivation disappeared and our mission disappeared. That's basically what happened. So we eventually stopped and we focused more on school. I didn't actually focus on school, but I did a little bit. So eventually, like I said, it's a part-time school. I worked at a basic job, part-time, 25 hours. And you basically had to prove yourself for a month. You had to work part-time every week for a month for free to prove yourself. So I did it like an idiot, and they said I'm not ready because I was one day absent at work. So I said, screw this, I'm out, fuck you. So I eventually left the job and I just didn't do much at the school. I skipped the school and did all that stuff. So I just wanted to achieve, right? So I started the YouTube channel, right? Another YouTube channel, a faceless YouTube channel. I worked on it and I told that guy that was very ambitious. I told that guy, bro, you should start YouTube channel. I said, well, you can do it anywhere. It's gonna make you money. It's gonna build a brand. He said, sure, but it's not really for me. He said he's gonna do pressure washing, and it never started. It never came out. He never actually made a business out of it. Why? Because he didn't even have patience. He didn't even get the first client, and he stopped already, which is one of the worst things in business. If you're not getting clients, you gotta find out why you're not getting before you quit. And eventually, he didn't make any results, right? So I dropped out of school. And when I dropped out, I lost touch with him. Well, I didn't really lose touch, but after a year, he contacted me. He said, bro, how you doing? And eventually I met up with him, right? And I said, well, what happened? He said, you're gonna achieve this, you're gonna achieve this. And what do you think he achieved? Nothing. He didn't achieve shit. Why? Because of one thing that he lacked: consistency. He lacked patience. Everything he did was not longer than a month or 2 months. He did not have much patience to go through the whole process. He wanted to see results quick, which was a result of failure. So I said, okay, now we're a bit older, a bit more mature, why not create another business, which was social media marketing agency. many of you know, a lot of people talk on YouTube about it. So we said, sure, let's start. And as we were working on it, and a couple weeks later, he messaged me saying that we should split up because we're not good business partners. So I said, well, why? He said his vision doesn't come along with mine. So I said, okay. And that's when I realized having business partners when you're just starting is one of the dumbest things to do, because you don't know shit, right? You don't know absolute anything about the business. So why team up with someone that doesn't know business too, right? Why would you do that? It's like combining two idiots and expecting a genius to come out. That's basically what you're doing. So my advice and what I've learned from this: first, have patience. You need to have patience, because things are not going to come overnight. Your expectations mean nothing because you don't know what's going to happen. If you're new to something, you're just expecting what others get. You're not expecting what's actually going to happen. Sometimes luck happens, but you should never rely on luck. You should only follow the system, right? Follow the system until you get a result. And the second thing, you don't need teammates. You need to first build yourself up. You need to build your foundation. You need to build your skills. You need to build your network. That's when you can start gathering teammates, gathering all these business partners. Because quite frankly, if you don't know anything about a business, you might be fooled. You might be taken over very fast. But once you understand business, once you understand how to operate with a team, it's much harder to trick you. It's much harder to fool you, and you'll see these all kinds of tricks, all kinds of lies very easily once you understand business. So really, first work on yourself. Get your life together, right? Work and become good at it, right? Once you do that, you finally understand what you're doing. That's when you're gonna start coming across people like you, because they're gonna see your work and you can contact them, you can communicate with them, you can befriend them, you can do all this stuff. So really, look, if you are starting, the reason why you shouldn't have teammates is because you'll never know if that person that you are starting with is actually as ambitious as you are. Because the beginning is always the hardest. And if you're not ambitious enough, you're gonna fail. So that's why I'm telling, if you really want a teammate to start with, you need to be ambitious, and your teammate has to be as ambitious or even more ambitious. Because that's what's gonna make you stand out. So I hope this helped you, but really, I don't know. This is, teammates are useless in the beginning. First build your foundation, and then move on to find teammates, to find friends, to find business partners. Because then you'll understand your craft. If you don't understand your craft, don't expect to understand your teammates, because you don't know what they're doing. And that's a recipe for failure and a waste of time. So take care and build your foundation first. Build yourself before start building others.